he was on a very bad road in the early life of his career, and he was given an opportunity and he took it with both hands and he changed his stars. And for that thing alone, he deserves a lot of respect and admiration. I admire the guy for that, because it's not easy coming from nowhere and having no money and becoming heavyweight champion of the world. And only through boxing these things are possible, or sports, or some amazing lucky breaks. And he's done very well for himself. He's become a multi-millionaire. He's made his family proud. He's become the 8th or 9th British World Heavyweight Champion. He's become a global star. He's had a very good role. He's done very well out of boxing. He's managing fighters. He's got a great team around him. Great promotional outfit. Very good-looking guy. Great shape. He seems to be taking the loss fantastic. So there's a lot of positives. You know, just because someone loses the fight, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It's a boxing match, for God's sake. You know, he's got a missus and he's got a kid. He's got a loving family, a mother, a father, probably brothers and sisters, and everybody else who should be very, very proud of Anthony Joshua. Very proud of him. On a business sense, he's done absolutely marvellous. On a career sense, he's done absolutely sensational. As a person, he's changed his stars, and I have to respect and give him all the props in the world for that. You know, it's an absolutely fantastic thing.
Well, you made that message clear, you know, on social media afterwards when everyone was laying into it.
He's a winner in life.
Yeah.
You know, I say a lot of stuff like, oh, he's finished this, that and the other, but that's on a competitive level.
He's one of your rivals, yeah.
He's a rival, of course I'm going to say yada yada yada. But the truth of the matter is he's done absolutely fantastic, and I'm very proud of him.
Wow. You know, this is Kirk DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I was letting you guys listen to an interview with Tyson Fury. This is one of the latest interviews that he was, you know, eating breakfast and actually talking and explaining how he felt about Anthony Joshua, his fellow countryman. And that cleared up all the bipolarness, because at first I heard it and I was like, wait a minute, this sounds different from what you just said the other day. Well, he explained it at the very end. You know, that's why it's so important for people to listen to a whole video to see what a person's saying, connecting the dots and hearing what a person's saying as a whole, instead of one thing that people get offended about or get sensitive about, you know, get all rattled about, right? And Fury said, you know, he's done absolutely sensational. He said everything from A to Z on the reasons why Anthony Joshua is who he is, right? And he said, yeah, you hear me talk a lot of shit about him, but the dude has done absolutely wonderful and fantastic as a person. He's changed his stars. He's made, you know, he's taken his loss well. A lot of people acknowledge that has common sense. You know, now, if you weren't really a Anthony Joshua fan, you'd probably hate him more now. You know, because you feel now, I have leverage over Joshua simply because he lost to a guy that no one else beat, including the top other 3 fighters or the other 2 fighters. They haven't got a crack at him now. So that's the only way of knowing that, knowing how you can compete or compare one fighter dealing with this opponent versus the other fighter dealing with that opponent, that same opponent. So, but that hasn't happened yet. None of these guys have fought Andy Ruiz to know what the hell he's like in the ring. You know what I mean? Because they didn't fight him. But back to Fury, he said, yeah, I say those things. I say he should be embarrassed. I say, you know, he's finished. But that's my rival, because he's not stupid. He knows one day, if Anthony Joshua comes back and defeats Andy Ruiz, which is not impossible, people. A lot of people thinking, oh, man, he's going to get whooped again and this, that, and the other. That could happen, but then again, both of those guys were hurt. We know that. And Joshua could win that fight. So if he wins that fight, he has all those belts back, and somebody has to be a winner out of Wilder and Fury too, don't they? And Fury's not an idiot. He's actually very, very smart. He might talk scattered. He might say one thing this way, and he might say another thing this way. But so did another rich person that's bald-headed too, Floyd Money Mayweather. He used to say things like that all the time. He says this one way one day. He says this one way another day. That's how these guys are. They do that. But Tyson Fury explained why he does what he does with Joshua. Yeah, he can't just kiss his ass and it's okay. No, he got to throw a little dirt on that plant to grow, right? He got to do that, and that's what he does. But he knows this guy, he lost once, right? Just like he has a draw, just like Deontay Wilder has a draw. That's not as worse as a loss. No, it's not. But they do have marks on their record. They weren't victorious on all their bouts. It was a draw. It is what it is. But Fury knows that Joshua could be an opponent. Now, if we connect the dots, right, and apply what that interview with Tyson Fury and Frank Warren advising or offering Joshua to avoid that rematch, right, and fight with them, yeah, you think that doesn't have anything for what he said then? He knows he's a rival, and he knows that's somebody he wants to fight in the future. He could fight in the future. But that doesn't stop him from respecting him and giving him his props for what he did in his career. Because all we could go on is one loss and the rest of the things that Anthony Joshua did. That's it. That's all. Not who he was going to fight, who was ducking and all that. None of that. None of that matters now. Right? But Tyson Fury just showed like, hey, let me put the stank on it and let people know, like, yeah, he's I respect him as a person. He's done things. He's made a whole bunch of money. Business sense, he's done absolutely exceptional. Look, those endorsements and stuff, a lot of people, record-breaking endorsements, like a dozen of these damn things, he's still that guy. 10 million compared to 500,000 is peanuts, people. Right? As far as endorsements. But Tyson Fury knows that Anthony Joshua is that guy that he may face one day. Right? He knows that. So in the future, when you do hear Tyson Fury say something like he's a bum, he's a dulcer, he was scared, he was a coward, he's chicken, he's a robot, he's stiff, right? He's overrated, he's overhyped. If you hear him say that, you now know why. You know now without a shadow of doubt why. Why is Tyson Fury saying this one way one day and saying another thing one way another day? It's because he knows he's a rival. So, anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury. I will say this, one last counterpunch. That's how you do it. I congratulated him when he did give his condolence to Anthony Joshua, but I think he's seen how Anthony Joshua took it, and he wasn't all sopping and shit like that. Tyson was like, okay, shit, it's time for me to talk some shit now. He's all right. He ain't what I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be crushed, crippled, sad, depressed, in a mess, living in less, right? Hashtag McMenace, right? But he's seen that, hey, this guy's fine. He's riding bikes and playing basketball and shit in New York City and Brooklyn. So let me talk some more shit about him because this guy might be back. And that's that. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.